mantra. Yatha Om Gati Gati Bharagati Bodhisvadhyata Om Gati Gati Bharagati Arasangati Bodhisvadhyata Om Gati Gati Bharagati Arasangati Bodhisvadhyata Om Gati Gati Bharagati Arasangati Bodhisvadhyata. Okay, what we'll do is we'll first complete the text and then we'll go for the questions. Okay. On page 51. Page 51. Stanza 9, which we read this morning. Although you train in renunciation and the mind of bodhicitta, without wisdom that realizes the ultimate reality, you cannot cut the root of cyclic existence. Cyclic existence meaning samsara. Say, imagine that you are in a dream. And the dream will continually affect you. The dream ghosts will they affect you, and say people are losing your near dear ones in the dream. They will affect you deeply. And as they say, when will this problem stop? When will the problem in the dream stop altogether? Anyone? Till you wake up, right? So therefore, say we are in the dream of samsara. We're in the dream of the ignorance. Dream created by the ignorance. Till we wake up from the sleep of ignorance with the wisdom of emptiness, this problem, sickness, aging, death, anguish, anxiety, depression, stress will never come to an end. So, we must know how to cut this root. How to cut this root? Wake up. How to wake up? By seeing the dreamer's dream, the unconventional dream as unconventional dream. When you realize that dream is dream, in the dream or when you wake up? When you wake up. Likewise, we have to wake up to know that whatever is happening is the unconventional dream. Okay. Therefore, strive to understand the dependent arisings. Try to understanding emptiness. And this morning what we learned is emptiness and dependent origination. These two mean the same. So, the benefit is emptiness and dependent origination. What we learned that these are the two sides of the same coin. You see emptiness side within the mind, say there is a set of emotions which are very constructive, like compassion, understanding, empathy, love, and so forth. The set of these emotions are very constructive, very healthy. Oh, by the way, just for information, that's very interesting. I was in Spain, and one of my friends, he got married to a Spanish girl, and the whole family, girl and the father, the father was one of very famous homeopathy doctor, and the girl was also a homeopathy doctor. And so why I'm saying this is that the positive emotions, how they are so healing for you. At that time, my schedule was so tight. And you wouldn't believe. I don't want to go into detail. To the extent that I hardly have enough time to eat my food. Just I take the first 2 spoons, food, lunch. When suddenly a call comes, I have to rush. So this was the kind of the life I was going through at one point. And it was going through like this for several years. So much of tension. And endless. Then the doctor, the father who was very famous in that place, he checked my pulse and he said that you have so much of stress. My friend is with me. My friend who is a Tibetan. He said, you have so much stress. I said, yes, you're right. I agree with you. He said that have no stress. That is my job. My job is to be stressed. I hardly get enough, time to eat food. The proper lunch, even one lunch, I hardly get time to eat. Just 2 spoons, 1 spoon, sometimes 1 spoon, I receive a call, I have to rush. That is my job. And endlessly stressful work, endlessly, deadlines and so forth. He said that, have no stress. I said, yes. He said, you have to practice compassion. Practice bodhicitta. My friend was so angry, saying that how dare that he's teaching a Geshe how to practice compassion. How dare he's too much. He was his father-in-law. So I told him, my friend, just keep calm. I like to hear all these things. Because if this is what he's advising me, the same thing he must be advising to all other people, which is so precious. People will come to hear about compassion. People will, and he's a very famous doctor, because of which people will respect what he says. It's so precious. I want to know how he's helping so many people. It's so good, not just giving medicines, but also giving advice, counseling, how to practice compassion, and so forth. So what I'm saying is that these practices, compassion and so forth, the positive emotions, they are so healing for the individual. Right? Okay. Then I said, I asked my friend, cool down, I just like to listen to him. Again he just says, you have so much stress. I said, yes, I have. Have no stress, it's not good. I know it's not good. And he said, again he said the same thing, practice compassion, practice Tonglen. Tonglen meaning to take the suffering of others on you out of compassion, to give your happiness to others out of loving kindness, which we have been doing, which I've been talking about yesterday. He was telling me to this. Then my friend became even more angry. He said, too much. Too much. He was about to fight with his father-in-law. I said, cool down. It's so good. I like to hear this. So the point is that these virtuous, the set of the virtuous, positive emotions, they are so helpful to your healing. When the anger, agitation, so forth, it builds up in you, it can be so destructive to your health, even physical health. It is not at all good. At a moment, say each one of us, we're the youngest of the lifespan that we have now. Do you agree with me? Whatever lifespan that you are left with now, you are the youngest today. Do you agree with me? You are the youngest today, right? Why should we destroy that? Why should we waste this? Don't waste this precious youth. I wouldn't say youth, the youth with respect to the lifespan that you're left with. That youth, why should you have to waste it in just losing the immune system? Immune system is so crucial for a good health. And this will easily be destroyed by the destructive thoughts, anger, agitation, irritation, and so forth. So try as much to practice love and affection. Of course, there are 2 methods which I mentioned to you yesterday and today also. These 2 methods. Try to practice compassion towards others, and to the extent, if possible, try to be able to see all others in the light of your own child. Just see if this is possible. If not, like 100%, maybe like say, the love that you feel towards your child, a tender young child like this young girl, right? Say, tender young child, see if you can feel at least like 70%, 80% of what you feel towards the child, towards all others. If this is what you can do, your healing, the immune system will be healed dramatically. And this will guarantee that you will have good health. No need to go to hospitals. Otherwise, you will have to end up going to hospitals and pay all the money there, to doctors. Okay. So, so now we see that there are two sets of emotions. Very constructive, healthy emotions. Just to feel it, you feel the healing. You feel the healing. And another set of emotions, feel it, you just feel the heaviness and the loss of energy. You just feel like dragging. That is very destructive. Now, what happens? Emptiness and dependent origination. These two are the two sides of the same coin. Two sides of the same coin. You see emptiness. You see emptiness. It is emptiness. It will stop all the destructive emotions. All what consumes your immune system. It will stop all the destructive emotions. You see dependent origination. It will freely let flow all the virtuous emotions. Very positive emotions, it will freely let flow in your mind. This is the benefit of seeing the true emptiness. Emptiness in the light of dependent origination. If this is what you can do, negative emotions will be stopped. So therefore, the unhealthy, the mental factors to harm your immune system will be stopped. And it will, in seeing dependent origination, it will enrich the positive emotions, let flow the positive emotions so freely that your immune system will be restored, will be enhanced and restored. It's so beautiful practice. Okay, so with this, what we see here is that stanza 9. Although you train in renunciation and the mind of bodhicitta, without wisdom that realizes ultimate reality. Ultimate reality is the emptiness of objective existence, emptiness of independent existence. You cannot cut the root of cyclic existence. Therefore, strive to understand dependent arising. We try to understand emptiness through dependent origination. This will help us to cut the ignorance by waking up from the sleep of ignorance. Stanza 10. So, the stanza 9 is why we should cultivate the wisdom of emptiness. Why we should cultivate the wisdom of emptiness? To cut the fear of samsara. Then stanza 10 down will tell us what is emptiness, how to cultivate this wisdom of emptiness. In a nutshell, one who sees the infallible cause and effect of all phenomena in samsara and nirvana and destroys all focuses of apprehension has entered the path which pleases the Buddhas. What is the point? What exactly is emptiness? Emptiness should not be understood as nothingness. It is where you understand emptiness, you also see the infallible cause and effect, meaning that the efficacious cause and effect. How the particular set of cause and effect cause will give rise to the specific result, meaning virtuous cause will only give rise to positive, the happy results. The negative causes will give rise to the miseries. This infallible cause and effect infallible operates. That we should be able to see that. When one who sees the infallible cause and effect of all phenomena, samsara and nirvana, where samsara, say, contaminated karmas, contaminated the thought processes, give rise to samsara. Then uncontaminated mental states give rise to nirvana. This cause and effect relationship. And samsara and nirvana, you see the infallible cause and effect, dependent origination. And okay, this is line 1 and 2 of stanza 10 is the dependent origination, understanding of the dependent origination. Then the next, emptiness, and destroys all focuses of apprehension, all focuses of objective apprehension, all focuses of apprehending objective existence, mistaken apprehension of seeing things objectively real. You destroy all these wrong apprehension. Wrong apprehension of seeing things objectively real. Destroy that. Destroy all focuses of apprehension, meaning all focuses of mistaken apprehension. Which mistaken apprehension? Apprehending things as objectively real, apprehending things as independently real. If you're able to do that, if you're able to see the two things, one, on one hand, you respect the cause and effect relationship. On the other hand, you destroy the misperception of objective existence by seeing emptiness. On the other hand, respect the cause and effect through seeing dependent origination. Dependent origination, cause and effect respect, and emptiness, destroy the self-grasping ignorance, destroy ignorance, apprehension of the ignorance. These two things happen together, has entered the path which pleases the Buddhas. The moment you do that, you are being the wisely kind to yourself. When you, just as the parents feel so happy to see that the child is so wisely being self-sustained or self-sufficient, the parents will be so happy. Likewise, the Buddhas, they see us like their own children. They want to see us become so self-sufficient to get out of samsara. So this, if you're able to see dependent origination and emptiness in harmony, that is what pleases the Buddhas the most. 11. Appearances. What do you mean by cause-effect relationship? What is that? Dependent arising, dependent origination mean the same. Appearances are infallible dependent origination, dependent arising. What we see, what we experience, what we smell, what we touch, what we think, the appearances coming to our mind. That is nothing but the dependent origination. Same, for example, we see somebody smiling, so kind, and you see the effect. You perceive the effect that other person feels so comfortable, right? And you see somebody who's very nasty, and the other person is, feeling so uncomfortable. Cause and effect. When you see that, this is the appearance happening. This appearance, yet on this level of the appearance, things are operating. Things are operating on that level. For example, when you speak of the flower operates on which level? Through the naked eyes. On the appearance of naked eyes, the flower operates as flower. If you go beyond that, the flower does not operate. You're getting it? You go beyond the naked eyes appearance. If you go beyond that, electromagnetism of flower makes no sense. So the operation of flower is happening only in the appearance level of the naked eyes. Just stay there. Don't go beyond that. If you go beyond that, then the operation of flower makes no sense. So everything operates just on the appearance level. Just on the appearance level. Beyond the appearance, there is nothing really there as objective. Nothing really there as ultimate. Nothing really there as independently real. It's all subjectively, on the appearance level. So what we see on the appearance, that is dependent origination. But dependence on the bunch of atoms, then it appears as a flower originates. But dependence on the bunch of atoms, the flower originates. Dependent origination. Right? And the bunch of atoms come together, then the monarch hall comes into origination. But depends on bunch of atoms, then the David, right? David comes into origination. Right? Dependent origination. Just that, beyond this appearance that is coming to us by dependence on the other factors, beyond that there's nothing there as David, there's nothing there as the monarch, there's nothing there as a flower and so forth. Okay. So in fact this, when I was sharing a little bit in the conference 1 day ago, the conference with the neuroscientists, the psychologists, all coming together. When I was saying this, there was one very senior neuroscientist who was mentioned about him this morning. He was so happy. He said that this is so precious. How things operate. We cannot really reconcile many things. Now, with this concept, how things exist just on the conventional level, on the appearance level, by dependent origination, this reconciles so many otherwise contradictory concepts. He was so happy. A very senior the neuroscientists. Okay. So what it says is that 11, stanza 11, page 51. Appearances are infallible, dependent on arising. What appears to us, that is the reality. That is the dependent origination. But dependent, how these appearances come into being? By dependence on other factors, then the monage appears. Then the eye appears. Then the flower appears. Then the, say as a nation, as a world, stars, galaxies, all these things appear, appearances arise by dependence on other factors. Okay, appearances are infallible, dependent and arise. Infallible meaning which is not infallible meaning which is not deceptive. Right? Infallible meaning which is not deceptive. For example, say like in the dream. This morning we made the distinction between dream and dream life. In the dream, cause and effect can be fallible. Whereas in the dream life, cause and effect must be infallible. Okay, very efficacious, very precise. Appearances are infallible, dependent and arising. Emptiness is the understanding that is free of assertions, free of objective assertions, free of assertions as independently real, assertions as objectively real. So, dependent and arising, line 1, line 2 is emptiness. These two are the two sides of the same coin. As long as these two are seen as distinct, meaning that, okay, emptiness is one, dependent and arising is another, these two are, okay, two independent entities. Like the way the neuroscientists said, that there are many concepts. For example, they speak about this, what was that? We are talking about the debate on the free will was happening 2 days ago in the conference. Free will, what is free will? Then they go into the free will is on the conventional level. Then when we analyze what free will is, they go to the ultimate level. And because they have no exposure, they are not introduced to this concept that these two are two different perceptions, right? This is a flower. No, this is atoms of flower, right? No, this is a bunch of atoms. Others, no, this is a flower. There's no need of debate. There's no need to fight. It's just two different perceptions. Both are correct. Whereas if you don't have this study and the knowledge how things exist by the power of the subject, if you don't have this concept, then the debates, endless debates will happen and no conclusion. So they were debating on this. I could see that this is a problem. This problem. They are talking about the word free will, and then they go into the neurons, right? Then the neurons means something, the objective, the physical reality there. When you try to explain the free will on that basis, free will just disappears. The flower disappears. The moment you go into the atoms, the flower disappears. So I said that there's no point. If you want to enjoy laptop, don't look at the laptop through electron microscope. I told this in the class, in this conference. If you want to enjoy laptop as a laptop, don't go at the atomic level. If you go to atomic, the laptop will make no sense. And then they say, that's very true. That's very true actually, right? Because this exposure is not there. They see everything so objective, so solidified, so independent there. Then they cannot resolve this problem. Okay, so the point is that the appearances are the dependent origination where everything is operating. On the objective level, on the independent level, nothing is really there. That is emptiness. So these are the two different perceptions. One is conventional analysis, seen by conventional analysis, other was seen by ultimate analysis. So you are looking at the same object. So the same object is operating where? On the conventional level, not on the ultimate level, on the conventional level. That is where things are operating. Now, so people then meditate. Say the question on how to meditate emptiness. So it is said that meditation emptiness are twofold, on the dependent origination level and the emptiness level. So emptiness level, it is said that meditation on the space-like emptiness. Meditation on the space-like emptiness. Line 2, stanza 11, line 2. Meditation on the space-like emptiness. Then line 1, meditation on the illusion-like emptiness. Space-like emptiness and illusion-like emptiness. Illusion-like emptiness means from the deep meditative experience, when you subject to ultimate analysis, the object disappears, the flower disappears. And you see that the flower really does not exist from the object. Stay in this experience. That is the deep space-like emptiness. Stay in this experience. Then the deeper you go into this experience, more stabilized your experience. When you come out, you see the flower. Then you see the flower like an illusion. You see the flower like illusion, not from the object. It's just a construct from my mind. This is what happens. So that is known as the meditation on the illusion-like emptiness. Okay. So as long as these two are seen as distinct, that dependent origination, therefore there is no objective reality. Empty of objective reality, therefore things are dependent origination. If these two are not seen as compatible to each other, dependent origination, emptiness, if you don't see these two are as compatible, as a seamlessly compatible phenomena, then you have still not realized the emptiness. It says, as long as you see these two as distinct, you have not yet realized the intent, the final intent of the Buddha. 12. When these two realizations are concurrent meaning, when you see dependent origination, emptiness automatically comes to your mind. Therefore, things should be empty of objective existence. Therefore, things should be empty of solidification. When you see the dependent origin, when you see the emptiness side, therefore things should operate by dependence. Right? When these two understandings, they come to you as not only non-contradictory, but as greatly seamlessly complementary to each other, at that point you have realized the intent of the Buddhas. It says, 12, when these two realizations are concurrent meaning one enriching, enhancing the other understanding, where mutually enhancing each other, where the mere sight of infallible dependent origination, you think about dependent origination, concurrently destroys all modes of grasping through definite discernment, meaning all modes of grasping at the objective existence. All modes of grasping at the objective existence through definite discernment. Definite discernment meaning that you understand things precisely correctly. Discernment, at that time, the analysis of the profound view is perfected. So, of the 3 points, 1, why the wisdom of emptiness has to be cultivated. Number 2, how to cultivate it. And then stanza 12 is the measure of having cultivated the wisdom of emptiness. So what is that? What is that point? When will you realize that, oh, now I've realized emptiness? Read stanza 12. Then you say, okay, this is, now I've realized emptiness, or still I've not realized emptiness. You have to decide on the basis of what is said in stanza 12. When these two realizations, which two realizations? When these two realizations, which two realizations? Realization of emptiness, the space-like emptiness, and the realization of dependent origin, which is illusion-like emptiness. These two realizations are concurrent, where the mere sight of infallible dependent origination concurrently destroys all modes of grasping through definite discernment. At that time, the analysis of the profound view is perfected. Okay, number 13. So this 13 is purely Lama Tsongkhapa's his personal experience, the profound experience of emptiness. So he says, furthermore, appearances refute the extreme of existence. Extreme of existence meaning extreme of absolutism, objective existence, solidification. Furthermore, appearances refute the extreme of existence. So now, after meditating, after getting emptiness, after meditating emptiness, you start to see, okay, after coming out of the meditation, then you see the appearances. Appearances, they're just appearance. From the object, nothing's really there. They're just the mere appearance. The mere appearance? Okay, so how many of you watch 3D movie? 3D movie. Yeah, 3-dimensional movie. Okay, so when you see things, they are seen so real. And meanwhile, you are aware that it's not real. If you're aware, then this is what is described here. So where you see things as 3D, and also in a temporal form, in time. time and space. Space 3D and time 4D. So through this, if you look at things, you see as real, but then because